Hello, everybody! I think Facebook is happening now. Welcome to the show. Welcome to How's Your Quarantine? I am Caskey Hunsader, and I'm going to be your host for episode 2 here. I'm still working out some of the technological glitches, so sorry for the short delay in getting the episode started right on time. But anyway, so yeah, today we are going to chat in just a little bit with Lee-Oswald, who owns Plover Yoga in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, and we're going to talk about what it's like to do online yoga classes in this fun quarantine situation that we're having. But first, a little bit of quarantine news. Rand Paul tested positive for COVID-19. And I hope he does well and I hope he gets healthy. But I can't help but say I'm a little... it's a little karmic here, considering that he's been one of the people who's been pushing back on some of the early relief efforts and all that stuff. So it can affect anyone. It can affect everyone. So I hope that the legislation that's going through will support the people who have lost their jobs and not the billionaires and all that stuff that are going to come from it. I posted this on Friday, and I'll put some links into the show notes if I can figure out how to do that. Again, I'm still kind of figuring it all out here. I wanted to post something here. This is on Friday, this video clip is from, and it's Rachel Maddow, and there's a longer version of the clip that I'll post, but I just want to post show you about a minute and a half of it, and it's her kind of talking about the fact that we're continuing to let these press conferences happen where just complete lies are being told, and how that's really affecting American people. So let me just play this for you, if this can work.
I mean, there is a clear pattern here in this crisis of the president promising stuff that he knows America would love to hear, but it's not true. And even stuff that he's saying that he will do, that the federal government will do, he's not doing. And so the specific way in which the president is failing now is clear. We have said from the very beginning, watch what they do, not what they say. That's very, very, very relevant here. And I say this not to vent my outrage or anything. I am over that, frankly, at this point. I'm just saying it because I feel like we should inoculate ourselves against the harmful impact of these ongoing false promises and false statements by the president by recognizing that when he is talking about the coronavirus epidemic, more often than not, he is lying. Even when he's talking about what he has done or what he will do, he is consistently lying and giving you happy talk that is stuff that the federal government isn't actually doing. And it's making people around the country count on the fact that the federal government is doing that stuff when they're not. I mean, there may be other people in the federal government who are saying things that are true, but these daily briefings from the White House are a litany of things from the president that would be awesome if they were true, if they were happening, but they're not. And so the sooner we come to terms with that, I think the better for all of us. If it were up to me, and it's not, I would stop putting those briefings on live TV. Not out of spite, but because it's misinformation. If the president does end up saying anything true, you can run it as tape. But if he keeps lying like he has been every day on stuff this important, all of us should stop broadcasting it. Honestly, it's going to cost lives.
So that is Rachel Maddow's take on it, and I really do side with her. I think we have to stop allowing him to go public and just say all these things that are straight up lies just because he thinks that's what people want to hear. Because it is very dangerous, and there are people who take him at his word. Again, today, I haven't prepared it for the show, but I just saw he gave a press conference where he said, yeah, you can just wash the face masks and then they're fine again. And that's not true. That's medically not sound. And it's dangerous to tell people that. And it's driving me crazy. Speaking of these wonderful press conferences, Dr. Fauci, who I think is a very smart man, he seems to be very smart, and I learned how to say his name because and I'm remembering it because he's a doctor, and he deals with ouchies, and it's Fauci, just if you need to know how to pronounce his name. Dr. Fauci has been at these press conferences, and he has good information, and he has correct information, and he got called out this weekend in an interview, basically saying, why don't you go, when Trump is saying some sort of lie, you need to be like, no, stop. And Dr. Fauci, who is seen here presumably auditioning for a role on Curb Your Enthusiasm, was quoted by the journal Science on Sunday, and he said, I can't jump in front of the microphone and push him down. And True, you might not be able to do that. You can't like physically attack him and push him down. But like, can't you kind of just jump in front of the microphone? Like, I would give $1,000,000 if Dr. Fauci would just pull a Kanye West and like jump up there and be like, yo, I'm gonna let you finish. But first, April temperatures do not kill COVID-19. And just kind of stop him. Like, what would Trump do? I mean, if he literally jumped and said, no, that's wrong, and like actually stopped him, I don't think he'd do anything. He would Taylor Swift that and just kind of stand there in a total daze. Because I don't think anyone has like challenged him that publicly, and I don't think he can handle it. So that's what's happening there. Did you like my graphic? I'm going to go back to it. I worked very hard for a full 5 minutes putting their heads on that picture. Lisa, you'll see this when you rewatch the video. I'm very proud of it. So that's great. Speaking of other internet news and things like that, Google put up its COVID-19 website, which was, again, kind of a big lie. When Trump said, what was it, last week or the week before, that, Google's got 1,700 developers on this magical website that'll basically cure you and make everyone in the world great and everything. Well, it turns out it wasn't true at all. Google had nothing to do with it. There wasn't 1,700 developers. It was one small subsidiary that was owned by a company that owns Google, was working on an app that would take your symptoms and triage you a little bit and direct you to a testing center for a limited amount of people in the Bay Area. And then after this all happened, Google was like, oh yeah, no, totally, we'll build a website. It's great. And they did, and I'm not dissing them at all, and you can go to it now, it's at google.com/COVID-19, and they have a website, but I'm just going to show you, like, flipping around here on this thing. It's just basically a glorified Google search. Like, it shows symptoms and prevention and treatments and stuff, and that's great, but it is not the 1,700 developer site that was promised. And then I kind of wish Google had been like, dude, we didn't do that, but they kind of played along because they want everyone healthy, so everything. So check out the check out the website if you need information. Anyway, that's enough of me ranting about the craziness of all of this. It's time to talk to my special guest. And I'm going to bring her up on screen in 1 second here when I can figure out how to do it. All right. Lisa, hello.
Hi.
Hi, Lisa. This is Lisa Lee-Oswald, and we knew each other. We went to the theater back in college a million years ago. I won't say how long ago for both of our sakes.
It wasn't a million.
It was enough. It was enough
like
years ago.
Is what it feels like.
So Lisa, welcome. Lisa is the owner of Plover Yoga in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. And Lisa, how's your quarantine?
It's great. Doing really well. My husband was home Saturday. He's an attorney, so he still has to go to work. So he was home Saturday for the first time, and at 10 in the morning, he came downstairs and he's like, oh, I'm just feeling so stir crazy. And that was really fun for me.
Dig in. It's going to be a while, right?
Yeah. He's back at work today, by the way. So.
Oh, my goodness. Well, and Wisconsin is, did they officially announce it, or they're saying they're announcing it? It's going to go into essential only businesses as of tomorrow, I think?
That's right. It is going to be tomorrow. So he's a district attorney, so he does remain essential.
Okay.
So he is lucky, I guess, because he gets to leave. But I've been home with the dog and with our 11-year-old. And I will say, the thing that keeps me sane and keeps me feeling connected is leading yoga classes, which I have not had to stop doing, fortunately.
That's great. We'll talk about that. How have you been doing this? I believe you're doing like Zoom, and is it a paid situation through your existing customers, or how are you like actually keeping your business going in this trying time?
Yeah, so we are using Zoom, and how it works is manually before class, I send out an email to everybody that's pre-registered. So my CRM lets people sign up for classes in advance, and so as soon as they're signed up, I can kind of check it off. And then about 15 minutes ahead of class, I'm sending out an email with a link to the Zoom meeting. So everybody that's registered gets to come. In terms of how people are paying for it, we have membership at the studio, so people pay a set price for unlimited classes each month, or they can buy like single classes, or they can buy like a 10-class pass. And so people who are on an unlimited haven't seen any change whatsoever to how they're being billed for class. It's just an automatic monthly thing, and they can come to as many classes as they want. And then typically a drop-in class is like $15, but for remote classes, we've lowered our drop-in rate for $8. So people just pay through MindBody, which is our CRM, and sign up for classes that way.
That's awesome that you're able to keep doing that, because I think with people in quarantine and being stuck, both physical fitness and mindfulness is so important. And I think that as these weeks drag on, it's going to be harder and harder for people to kind of take care of their bodies. So how well attended have these been for you guys? Are a lot of your customers coming to you?
Yeah, so attendance is probably higher now than it was like in studio. Definitely in studio for the week to 2 weeks before we decided to take our classes remote, because even at that point people were concerned. Mm-hmm. But we can fit 25 people in the physical studio, and right. So that's a class for us. And now we still have 19, 20 people coming to remote classes, so attendance has been great.
That's awesome. Oops, wrong camera. That's really great. And oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. How are business, like, do you know other business people in your area? Like, do you have like a group of businesses that you work with in that kind of, in where your physical location is? How are other people holding up on this? I mean, you're lucky that you can do a business where you can do it remotely, but not everybody can.
That's right. I am really lucky, and I feel really grateful for that. The area where my studio is, we do have a few other businesses, but they're more, they're maybe more like quarantine proof. There's an office down the way that's doing some dental work, not like doing actual dentistry on people, but doing work for like supplies for dentists. So I imagine they're probably doing okay. The big business in my area is home renovations, kitchen and bath, and they've sort of indicated that they're not really making any changes or seeing any slowdowns. So I don't know if that will remain true, but so far they're doing fine. There are a couple of salons. One is like a regular hair salon, and one is like a lice salon, I guess.
Ooh, lice salon.
Yeah. So they see kids who get head lice. And they're shut now. But
I have a couple of friends back home who are salon owners, and they're going to get hit by that. I mean, everybody's getting hit by this. So many businesses that rely on the face-to-face. I mean, I lost my job. I was out on tour with Miss Saigon. So there's some things you can do from home, and it's so lucky that so many people can work from home. But there's such a huge amount of the population that just can't, because their job is interacting with people.
Yeah.
Have you noticed in your community a lot of people taking the precaution to kind of self-isolate? Or because we're having a big problem in New York. I don't know if you saw Governor Cuomo this weekend was like literally on a broadcast being like, "What is it you don't understand?" Like screaming at people because the parks are jam-packed. I tried to get some food at a grocery store the other day, and I thought I was going to walk out there like I was Will Smith in that movie. What is it?
Right?
Yeah. And it looked business as usual, and people are chatting and talking on the sidewalk and giving each other high fives and stuff. And I'm like, what is the matter? Like, it's insane that people aren't taking this seriously. Have you noticed it in your community? Are people actually taking this seriously?
I would say so. In my physical neighborhood, I do see people outside walking, but nobody's really gathering. We've been to the grocery store a few times just since people are starting to stay home more and more, and it is less busy. The grocery store that I typically go to has like tape marks on the floor at the register so that people know how far away to stand when they're waiting.
Yeah, they had that at Whole Foods the other day. They put in the line to check out, they had X's and tape.
Yes. And then, we were at Walmart, and I was in the pharmacy aisle to grab some Tylenol, and there was a gentleman that realized I got closer than like 6 feet, and he actually snuck around the corner of that and then peeked around at me like, oh. So people are taking it pretty seriously, I think.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
well,
been reassuring.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. That's what we have to do, because otherwise this is going to get dragged out even longer.
I know, right?
Terrifying. I mean, they say, like, oh, I mean, it's so scary to hear when somebody says, well, this might be an 18-month thing. Like, how does the whole world shut down for a year and a half? Like, that's... You read about that in these dystopian novels, but you never think it's actually a real world scenario. But
Yeah.
crazy. And then you have an 11-year-old, so how are you dealing with education and all that?
He had, well, it's his spring break, so it's his first day of spring break today.
Okay.
So he's literally been on YouTube all day because I'm the mother of the year. But he has a really amazing teacher. Wisconsin schools are really good. So we're really fortunate because they've done Google Classroom, so he can get all his homework and all his assignments there. And then he just likes school anyway. He makes it really easy to be a parent. So he just logs at 9 o'clock in the morning when he's supposed to start his day, and he just carries on with it. He does really well.
That's great. We had Molly Lucrelli on Friday, and she's trying to. She's a fifth grade teacher and navigating how to get to her students, and you're lucky that they have devices. But she said one of the problems is not all the kids have the online access and can actually get to education resources, which is going to be troubling in the long run if this stays up. But you're lucky you have a kid who likes to educate himself.
No, I think that is not lost on me.
Very fortunate, very fortunate. All right, well, we are going to play a quick game, I think. I invented this, I came up with this at 3 in the morning, and then I made the graphics for it and tried to figure out how to make it work on this show. So, 1 second here, I'm going to select several buttons, and in theory, it should work. And this is... Yes, this is the Coronavirus 19 speed round. So, question number 1. What is your 20-second hand-washing song you've been using?
Truth Hurts.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Number 2, what are you streaming right now?
Bob's Burgers.
No shame there whatsoever. That is a fantastic show with many, many, many seasons, and I could spend days watching that. I'm personally working my way through Schitt's Creek this weekend.
Oh, it was so good. Is this your first watch?
No, I've watched it many, many times. I just haven't seen the current season because I don't have the channel for it, but I'm Netflixing those first 5 seasons over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And then number 3, what are you reading?
Atomic Habits.
And tell us what that's about.
It's about, it's an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, if anyone wants to follow Plover Yoga, I've got their hashtags there, their user... I'm just barely a millennial, so, I'm not the greatest with all this social media hashtags. It's not a hashtag, Grandpa. What's the matter with you? You can be found on Instagram at Plover_yoga, and you're on Facebook. So now that you're doing these remote, anyone from anywhere in the world can take your classes, really, right?
That's absolutely right. And your first 30 days of yoga with us are only $30.
What a deal. Well, if you're cramped up in wherever and you've got enough room for a mat, then check it out, and everybody should take care of themselves. Well, Lisa, it is so good to talk to you. Thank you for being on my glitchy second show.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Take care of yourself. It was good to see your face and talk to you as well after it's been such a long time. And thanks for being my guest.
No, thank you. I hope you're touring again soon.
Me too. And that's for everybody in the world, push for the arts, because the arts are what's getting people through. If you're reading books and you're watching Netflix and you're keeping entertained on YouTube, that's all the arts. So I hope that if anything comes out of this, it's that the nation understands arts funding is so important, because it's what's keeping us all occupied right now and making us not go completely stir crazy. So yeah. I appreciate that plug. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, folks. Well, that is it for the show. Show number 2. I'm just going to keep doing these because I've got lots of friends all over the country who do cool things and who are all cramped up in their houses just along with you on this quarantine. So Please keep watching and recommend these videos to your friends if you're bored or whatever. Tweet us. Yes, tweet at us. Send us a tweet. We are How's Your Q on Twitter. You can find us on the Facebook page. This is there it is. That's me. You can find me on all the social media as well, because I'm such a prolific social media. Anyway, tweet us. Tell us the kind of people you want to talk to. Let us know how your quarantine's going. And everybody, please take care of yourselves, stay safe, and take care of other people. Thank you. Bye.